Hey everybody, back with another chapter of, can you not, Farsighted. We on chapter 10. So let's go and see, why Alex's dad left like a butt. Chapter 10. The traveler has strayed from his path, resulting in an imbalance between his needs and desires. He must turn within for the push he needs in order to continue his journey. Some people use the expression seeing red to convey anger. Whenever I'm over the top furious, a shrill whistle rings in my ears, like the sound a tea kettle makes when ready to be removed from the burner. So many strong and violent thoughts hit me at once. My brain can't hold them all in. Needing to alleviate the pressure somehow, the overflow leaks out through my ears. When I find Mom crying on the floor of her flower cooler, my ears whistle so loudly that I can't even hear her explanation. I already know what happened. Dad is having an affair with Miss Teak, and he decided to leave us for her. I can't believe him, I fume, still hugging my distraught mother. I just can't believe him. I hold her to my chest, and we rock back and forth. The repetitive motion soothes us both, gradually allowing Mom to stop crying, and my ears to stop whistling. I never saw this coming, Mom says, blowing her nose into a stray bit of tissue paper. Me neither, I say. I should have seen this coming. I knew Dad was acting strange. I should have looked into the reasons more, rather than avoiding him this whole time. I could have warned Mom before it happened. She could have been the one to dump him. That's the way it should have been. What are we going to do without him, Alex? I can feel her neck strain in the crook of my arm as she turns in to look up at me and begs for a solution to this problem. We don't need him, I utter, trying to remain calm for Mom's sake. You're the one who makes all the money for the family anyway. We'll be better off without him. Mom pulls away from our embrace, but stays near. How could you say that? He's your father. I contemplate telling her about Miss Teague and the event I walked in on earlier this afternoon. I decide not to. If she doesn't know already, the information would only serve to upset her more. Instead, I say, because I'm pissed at him for doing this to you. To us, Alex. He left both of us. Mom rises to her feet and brushes off the parts of her body that were touching the floor. She lends me a hand and helps me to my feet. Turning to leave the cooler, she pauses and turns toward me again. Oh no, your schoolwork. She begins to cry again and shakes in hysterics. She begins to cry and shake in hysterics again. Mom. I hold her face in my hands and use my thumbs to rub away her tears. Her skin is hot, despite the fact that we're in the cooler. It's okay. I try to make her better through my touch, the way Simi does to me. We'll manage. Everything will be okay. She squeezes me and forces a laugh. Oh, my big, brave oak tree. You're right. We'll get through this together. When we get home, most of Dad's things are already gone. So are the 2 big suitcases we use whenever we go to visit Nana and Gramps Cosmotaurus in Boston. I'm going to tuck myself in a bit early tonight, Mom announces, drifting toward the bedroom she and Dad have shared ever since I can remember. I sit down at the kitchen table, bury my fingers in my hair, and scratch at my scalp. I understand, Alex. I understand. Little bits of dandruff get stuck under my fingernails. A few of my hairs are pulled loose, but I can't feel any pain. A while later, soft movements come from the living room. I get up and walk over to Mom. I couldn't sleep in there all alone. At least not tonight, she explains. She's sitting on the couch with a quilt that smells like mothballs flung over her shoulders. I snap with both hands to show my double support and reach around to give her another hug. I kiss her on the forehead and tell her I love her. After waiting a little while to make sure she's not going to start crying again, I head to my bedroom for the night. Of course, I'm completely unable to sleep. Too many thoughts race through my mind. My ears continue to whistle on and off, giving me a pulsing headache. What am I going to do now? I want to save Simi more than anything, but I can't let her know about the danger involved, and I can't bring myself to train with Mystique now. She's the reason my family's been torn apart in the first place. It makes me sick knowing her shop is just next door to Mom's. It's probably only a matter of time before Dad turns up and hurts Mom all over again. I shudder and notice I'm grinding my teeth. Now I've got a headache and a toothache, both of which add to my anger. Eventually I do fall asleep, but it's not a good sleep. I keep dreaming about Dad and Mystique together, talking, laughing. They're celebrating something, which I can only assume is of the successful destruction of our family. What I can't understand is why in a single one of these dreams, why in every single one of these dreams, I'm there too, laughing and celebrating like nothing is the matter. The next morning, I wake up to the smell of sausages frying in the griddle. I pull an oversized Grand and High sweatshirt over my head and pad down the hallway. Morning, Mom says. Her flowery disposition is gone, replaced by an icy coldness I've never felt from her before. A domestic zombie is making my breakfast. Hi, Mom, I say, forcing a smile. How did you sleep? Oh, just great, Mom says, scraping the browned pork links from the frying pan with a spatula and placing them on a plate lined with paper towels. Yeesh, I just had to... Perfect. Best sleep I ever had, as a matter of fact. Well, that's good, I say, not used to being on the receiving end of my mother's sarcasm. I didn't even know she could be sarcastic until now. Anything I can help with? Pour the orange juice in the cups and take them to the table, she says dismissively. Without saying anything more, I move toward the fridge to take out the orange juice, which is always to the left, on the second shelf. I set the carton on the nearest bit of counter space and sploosh! Sticky sweet juice gushes out all over the linoleum floor. A crinkly plastic container falls down after it, something that wasn't there when we went to bed last night. Unable to react, I stand still from the shock. What the hell, Alex? I'm already late for work as it is. Now I'm going to waste time cleaning up this mess? I really wish you'd be more careful sometimes. Mom swoops over to where I am standing and squats down to pick up the toppled carton. It's okay, I say. I'm sorry. I'll clean it up. She continues to hover over the mess as I stand immobilized. Mom, I shout. I'll get it. Stop. Well, then get it already. She throws the soiled dish rag at my knees and returns to the stove. A moment later, she is back by my side, clutching my head to her shoulder and cooing. I'm so sorry, baby. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to. It's not your fault, Dad. I'm sorry. It's okay, Mom. I understand. And I do. I convince her to take work off today. It won't do much harm to keep the shop closed. It's a Wednesday in October, not exactly the rush season. She drives me to school, making a pit stop at Sweet Blossoms to put up a note. She says each word aloud as she writes in magic marker. Shop closed. We'll be open tomorrow morning at 7 o'clock. Sorry for any inconvenience. Susan K. Since your father's not around, I guess I'll be the one driving you to school now. You'll need to wake up a bit earlier so I can drop you off before opening, Mom explains as we pull out of the strip mall parking lot and make our way towards school. I don't say anything. I don't want to be half an hour early to school every day, but I guess the only other option would be to take the bus. No, thank you. I wish I could drive myself. Things would be so much easier for everyone. Today, however, my normal teenage grievances are the least of my problems. School is awful. I'm too upset to focus, but I can't attempt to fade into the background either, because doing so would remind me of Miss Teak, which would remind me of Dad, which would make me mad all over again. In English class, the teacher calls on me to read aloud from the Odyssey. I take a deep breath, and after a gentle reminder from the teacher as to which page the last reader left off on, I begin. A sweet, smooth journey home. Renowned Odysseus. This is what you seek. Like a god will make it hard for you. I know you will never escape the one who shakes the earth, quaking with anger at you still enraged because you blinded. I stopped reading abruptly. Mr. Cosmatoris, the teacher urges, this time almost pronouncing my name correctly. Reading Homer must have encouraged her to brush up on the old Greek diction. Please continue with the next line. I can't, I say, without offering an explanation. Dangerous journeys seem to be a Greek thing. Is it too late to get a do-over in the Proud Heritage Department? You can't? The teacher asks. You can't? The teacher asks with a high-pitched voice. She seems to be taken aback at having a student refuse her orders. I gulp and shake my head. Then perhaps you'd like to provide a summary of what we've experienced in the underworld with Odysseus thus far? I stall. He went to talk to a guy who was supposed to... What guy did Odysseus go to speak to? Tiresias, she corrects. And why did Odysseus want to speak to Tiresias so badly that he was willing to travel to the underworld? Because I run my fingers over the pages of my book, desperately seeking an answer. Because he wanted to find out if his mother was okay, I venture. Not quite right. But even so, Odysseus wanted to inquire about his mother. But even so, if Odysseus wanted to inquire about his mother, then why would he speak to Tiresias? Because Tiresias was really smart? The other kids snigger at my feeble explanation. No, Mr. Cosmotaurus, because he was a prophet. Because he was a prophet, I parrot. Yes, and what was particularly notable about this prophet? My heart sinks. I know the answer to this one. Because he was blind, I say resignedly. The other kids in the class laugh. At last, the teacher seems to realize she's gone too far in embarrassing me and calls on another student to continue the reading. You will never escape the one who shakes the earth. These words continue to echo through my head. My stomach overflows with a dread I can't quite place. Between classes, I rush to the bathroom and throw up, but only the partially digested remnants of my breakfast make their way out. The dread remains. You will never escape. I will never escape. I waste half of lunch period standing in the hot food line. Mom forgot to pack a lunch for me today, so I haven't got a choice. Finally, I get my steaming serving of chicken and cheese and make my way through the cafeteria, focusing as much attention as I can on keeping my tray balanced while navigating the obstacles of the cafeteria with my cane. At least one thing goes right today. I make it to our table without any mishaps. Simmy greets me. I nod and stick a fork full of mashed potatoes into my mouth. I heard about what happened with your dad. That really... Oh, sorry, wrong person. I heard about what happened with your dad. That really sucks, Shapri says. I push my potatoes around in my mouth and swallow as Shapri continues to chatter on about how difficult it is when your parents are fighting. What is she doing here? I ask Simmy. Alex, Simmy starts. Excuse me? Shapri interjects. If you've got something to say to me, you better say it directly. I told you already. I won't be disrespected. And you won't tell me how to deserve to be treated, I bark back. Oh no, you... Shapri's voice is zooming fast. Add in the constant change in direction as she moves her head from side to side, taking her voice along with it. And I can barely understand what she's saying. Not that I mind. I don't care if she's upset. I'm not playing nice with her today. I'm going to say exactly what's on my mind. Oh, yes, I did. You and your mom come into this town pretending to be nice, pretending to want to help me. But all along, your whore of a mother is working on breaking apart my parents' marriage. Simi gasps. Shapri shoots to her feet, towering above as I remain seated. Nobody talks about my mother like that. If my father were here, he'd what, Shapri? You psycho. Your father is dead. Everybody knows it but you. God, get with reality already. Silence. I'm not sticking around to find out what's on the other end. I grab my cane and get up. Come on, Simi, let's go. The silence continues. I nudge Simi with my arm. Come on. Simi scoots to the other side of the bench without saying a word. Why isn't she coming? She was my friend first. This is too much to take. Whatever. I don't need her anyway. I was alone before she arrived. Nothing new. Fine. Don't come, I yell, and swipe my arm across the table. The lunch tray flies over the edge, hitting Shapri in the waist. Enjoy the chicken and cheese. I storm off and spend the remainder of lunch in the bathroom stall. My whole world has fallen apart within less than 24 hours. Chemistry is not easy today. Shapri and Simi refuse to so much as look at me. And we only talk when absolutely necessary for performing a lab task. I contemplate asking Dr. Brown to add me to a new group, but realize he'd probably never do anything to make a student's life any easier, at least not voluntarily. I turn the dial of the Bunsen burner all the way to the left. It clicks to life, emitting the odor of charred sulfur. Simi places the beaker on the open flame, subduing the chemical smell. I think about the fire, imagining the flames leaping at the glass. I've always imagined fire and water look the same. Almost the same. Since I know fire is orange in color, my brain adds a hint of citrus to the aroma. How many other sensory experiences are faked? Simi. She abandoned me when I needed her today. Maybe she isn't the person I thought she was. If I was her brother, she definitely should have taken my side. Now I have no idea what I am to her. Not that that matters anymore. The smell of her coconut hair stands out against the aromatic orange chemical fire. But today it sickens rather than comforts me. Luckily, my stomach is empty, except for a single bite of mashed potatoes. Shapri whispers something to Simi that I'm unable to discern. Simi, though, responds at full volume. Of course I love you. What? Is she communicating with me telepathically? Telepathy seems a perfectly reasonable occurrence given our other gifts. I focus on forming the words in my own mind to send them back to Simi's. I love you too. Good, I always knew you did. A male voice intrudes. What's going on? Yes, I always did, and I always will until the end of time. Simi purrs and leans in for a kiss. Her soft breath and enticing fragrance come at me full force. Her lips make contact with a wet, chirruping sound. But it's not the present or the future me. She's kissing. Darn, I'm having a vision again. Someone's going to steal Simmy from me, but who? Simmy and the imposter continue to kiss. Their breathing grows heavier until at last she pulls away for air and giggles. Oh, Dax, I'm so happy. Dax? No, Simmy can't love Dax. He's evil. He's going to kill her. Doesn't she see what he is? I slam both my palms on the work table, startling the girls and evoking judgmental whispers from a few of our classmates. Shocker of shockers, Dr. Brown actually lets it go. Maybe I should have put in for a request. Maybe I should have put in for a request for a new group while I had the chance. The bell rings and I fume out of the class without waiting for Simmy to walk to next period together. If she's going to give her love to such an undeserving creep, then there's nothing I can do to save her.